YouTube.
This is the Mind of the Meanie. Here are your hosts, the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard.
Peace, world, and welcome everybody to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world, according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide, a very tired and jet-lagged Adam Barnard, out on the West Coast, and on the East Coast, he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie, what's on your mind?
Brother, happy Meanie. Well, not me.
Close enough.
I might be a little tired. The Hall of Fame just ended 10 minutes ago. Happy WrestleMania weekend. That's all who celebrate. You know, it's a national holiday in the Meanie household since I was a kid. My grandmom, God rest her soul, would allow me to have, you know, the Friday of WrestleMania off, so I didn't have to go to school, and it became a 3-day weekend, and it's still important to me, damn it. And you know, we're here on a Saturday, you know, we're on a Saturday, little kayfabe, 419, not quite 420. We're rolling the papers.
Somewhere Rob Van Dam is setting up his sleigh to come and see you overnight. Don't forget to leave him some chips and some soda while, you know, to parch his thirst. But
yeah, man, I'm doing good. Yesterday, yesterday I watched everybody's feeds from Vegas, from WrestleCon and all the conventions, and was envious. And but I'll say one thing, kind of glad I'm not out there because I am sick as a fucking dog right now.
Oh no, dude, are you good? What's going on?
Oh, dude, coming back from Ireland for our vacation, there's this lovely woman who mouth coughed openly, for the whole flight back from Ireland, and we're like, oh, this is the downfall of the fucking trip, right? So didn't sell it for a couple days. Mrs. Meanie got sick, and then eventually I caught the rest of it, and I've been, you know, coughing like like typhoid Mary over typhoid Mary over here.
Jesus, man.
Just coughing, miserable. But it's Mania weekend, so I'm happy.
I told you, man, I wore a mask on the plane. I wasn't screwing around. I have a couple masks still left over from, you know, the COVID times, and I bought a couple of the they're like not, you know, talk about like the inserts inside of there. I didn't take it off once. I took it off once through TSA. I pulled it down and I held my breath, put that sucker right up, and I opened it up to drink and stuff. But other than that, man, I was like, I am not getting sick this time around. I am not doing this again. But there was a guy, where were we? I can't remember what day it was, but we were down somewhere and some guy was doing the same thing, coughing and sneezing. And I'm just like, fuck. Like, I know we're in public, but I'm still like, I'm not trying to get in any shit this week. So it was deeply unpleasant, man. Deeply unpleasant. But what is not unpleasant, like you said at the top of the show, it is WrestleMania week. So happy Mania week to you, for those who celebrate.
Yeah.
And a pleasant Baba Booey to you. We have a great chat here this morning. Thank you for spending your Saturday morning with us. We appreciate it. Mass Sanity is here. Happy WrestleMania. A Baba Booey to you, sir. Andy Schlichter is here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Lucha is here, Pod Squad member.
Lucha.
I
forgot
Adam.
Schlichter.
And then Adam Irish Conundrum 630 says, "Hope you get to feeling better." Thank you.
I'm in the go home portion of whatever this is the I have. I sound like a baby with the croup, you know. Just
oh man.
Hold on, here's a little preview. It's like that kind of shit.
Oh man.
Yeah,
dude. Oh my
God. That's the go home. It was way worse yesterday, you know. Just
oh man.
Kind of.
I'd have been so pissed, dude. So pissed.
Seconds from getting up and farting in her mouth, man. It just
yeah, just spit in my mouth next time. Yeah.
Yeah. literally right behind me. And I was like, like vacation went way too well. We're like, oh man,
right.
we got through TSA going to Ireland. Great. We got on the plane. Everything was fine. We got to the hotel. We got to Ireland. We got to the hotel. They let us check in early. We got to the pub tour. It was wonderful. All these great things happen. We leave. We get on the plane. We get we get to the airport. We get our duty-free booze. We get to the plane. Get on the plane, no problem. And then typhoid man starts coughing at like.
Oh God.
So here we are.
Yep. Yeah. Well,
But,
I'm glad you're on the up and up, man. Glad you're on the up and up.
Yeah, I'm in the go home. This is the the hope spot right now. So
Yeah.
feeling all right, feeling better.
Yeah.
But
well, it has been a busy few days here out in Las
yeah,
Vegas.
man, you're in Vegas, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm out here in Brad. Shout out to Brad Feinberg, letting me stay and utilize his house. And his lovely, him and his lovely wife Corey have let us stay here. So thank you very much to them. The different background, much different, but works out. And we're just ramping up here. We're getting ready for WrestleMania Night 1 today. As you're listening to this, though, our loyal friends listening to this on the podcast streams, you will have known that WrestleMania is now over. But as of today, we are getting ready for Night 1. Did you get a chance to watch SmackDown last night? And did you see the nasty bump that Rey Mysterio took?
What's that?
I said, did you see the nasty bump that Rey Mysterio took?
Oh yeah, man. God bless him, man. I hope he's all right.
Yeah. That was an ugly one. They had to help. We were watching from the press box, and all of a sudden we see a bunch of people run over, and someone literally, threw up the X sign. And for those who are not smartened up, that indicates a legitimate injury. They helped him up, and he couldn't even get up off the floor and walk himself. Like they were literally walking him out. So haven't heard anything new about him. We hope he's okay, and we hope he's doing well, but certainly puts a dent in the match that he's supposed to have tonight with not Chad Gable, apparently, with El Grande Americano.
It was very kind of them to allow Chad Gable to have a match of SmackDown, considering he's not on Mania this weekend.
Of course, and that's nice that they were. It sucks that he's not going to be on the card, but
yeah.
But yeah, no, they're it was a pretty gnarly looking one, man. It's a shame too. It's 24 hours out from Mania, and he's down. It's a shame. So.
Well, here's the thing. There's always the luxury of flipping days, where they can swap out a match from night 2 to night 1 and let him be night 2, have a little bit of chance to, recover. Hopefully he's okay. Ray's a workhorse, man. I remember, first time I met Ray, it was in ECW, young, fresh-faced Ray. I was at his debut a month before I debuted. It's so crazy how quick, my debut happened right behind the Luchadors. I literally went to ECW. I was just training with Al. I just moved back to Philly, got into. I went to the arena show he debuted because the promoter I worked for out in Pittsburgh, Norm Connors, was at the show. So I just sat in the bleachers with him and to watch that debut and watch what was about to become the Lucha Revolution.
Yep.
I mean, the launching point for what we would know as Lucha in the USA, as we know it today. So, hope Ray's okay. Dude, I'm 51, going to be 52 in May, and I know what it's like to recover at this age as opposed to when I was in my 20s. And my thoughts are with Ray. Hopefully he's doing all right.
Yeah, I can't even imagine taking a bump that hard and having to shake it off. Like you said, he is older now and not a spring chicken the way that he used to be. But I know that, the good thing, as always, excuse me, WWE is taking a lot of that. They're taking all of it very seriously. So I'm hoping that, if there is a concussion protocol, if it's needed, hoping that he gets together. And again, it's just a shame, obviously, like, the day before WrestleMania. But again, it seems like they were able to set something up on the fly in the event that, Ray can't compete. Ray Phoenix is available now. So he competed twice last night. That guy is, talk about the star treatment, man. That was something crazy. I don't know if you had a chance to check out into those entrances, but man, he did like the way that they've brought in him and Penta has just been unbelievable.
Yeah, and I like that they've kept them on separate shows, even though the Lucha Brothers deal. Hopefully, down the line they do like an all Lucha show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they got enough stars, and then it looks like they're open up having relations with other companies. The Rock's been teasing stuff while he's wearing the New Japan shirt.
that was one of the things I was gonna ask you about today.
Yeah.
Our friend of the show and weekly listener, Television's Rock the Dwayne Johnson posted a video of himself wearing a New Japan T-shirt with a Rubik's Cube. And as we know, with all things wrestling recently, nothing's a mistake and nothing's an accident. Everything's got a meaning. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that video and a potential relationship?
Yeah, he's trying to solve a puzzle there, I guess. Solve a problem. At least he's trying to figure it out, and he didn't like peel the stickers off like I did as a kid and put them all in the same side and ruin the game forever. But hey, it's important, for WWE to establish relationships. Look at what they've done with TNA. TNA, wonderful relationship there. Wonderful relationship there. TNA seems to be prospering from this relationship with WWE. New Japan, haven't followed as closely as possible, but I have friends who are diehard fans who keep me abreast or two about what happens in New Japan, and New Japan could definitely benefit from cross promotion with WWE. WWE, the worldwide recognized leader in the world of professional wrestling sports entertainment. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. And hey, if The Rock decides he wants to maybe have a match in New Japan, which maybe the Dwayne is getting a little bit older now. He might be calling it a career soon in ring, and maybe he wants to work Tokyo Dome. Who knows? This would be a perfect partnership. A partnership with New Japan would also be great for WWE as to, hey, if they have some, like with the TNA thing, if they have younger guys who need ring time, but WWE doesn't have enough TV time to put these guys in the ring, send some guys to New Japan. New Japan gets sent some guys over here, like back in the day, do a little towel exchange, and have some, it'll be mutually beneficial. But ultimately, WWE working with WWE WWE working with New Japan could kind of be a smirk at AEW. AEW had the working relationship with New Japan for a while there, and I don't know if it's still there, but the fact that The Rock of all people is wearing a New Japan shirt might that's Dwayne putting his balls on the table and saying, I'm on the board. I'm going to get this done.
Well, like we said, it's one of those things where nothing is an accident these days in WWE. Like nothing is an accident. Nothing doesn't have a meaning, right? All these little tiny intricate stories, they're all a part of whatever they're doing, the big push. I know there's been talk. I don't know if it's interested from one party or interest in both, but there's been rumors that I've heard about Tanahashi, because I think he's retiring in 2026. I believe that's his retirement tour. Someone can correct me in the chat. But he wants to face John Cena And so it's possible that there's going to be some type of working relationship there. And a Cena Tanahashi match would go absolutely fucking crazy. I can't even imagine the logistics of that. But yeah, no, it's exciting. It's an exciting time, man. It's exciting to see what they're going to come up with. And I'm sure stuff will be revealed over the next couple of weeks. But
to put it in more of a perspective, as a performer, I've really worn shirts of promotions I've never worked for. I would like, for the longest time, I never wore a Ring of Honor shirt until I actually got to work a Ring of Honor card. So people go, "Oh, Ring of Honor. Oh yeah, I did a show for him."
Yeah.
So, the Dwayne busting out a New Japan shirt, baseball tee, 3/4 sleeves, one of my favorite, style of shirts to wear since I was a kid. It can only mean something. It's got to mean something. And I like it's Easter. He's putting eggs out, and we'll see
Oh, dude, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about that part.
Yeah, see when they find the egg and open it up, WWE New Japan deal. Which,
man,
I mean, they've had deals going back to the 80s.
I was gonna say it wouldn't be the first time. I think they've had something previously, right?
No, they did a joint show. I think after Hogan won the belt, and Inoki had a match where he famously knocked out Inoki. I believe it was a shoot, not on he didn't shoot on him, but Inoki Inoki was knocked out on the floor. So,
right, was it it was a shoot accident kind of thing where
the pre-match ceremony was Vince on the mic, reading from the scroll and stuff like. It's on YouTube. Go
I'll take a look for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's that match of Hogan working that Japanese style, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, this guy can actually grapple, like he can go."
Axe Bull Bomber. Just see what before the big boot and the leg drop, he was doing the forearm to Axe Bomber as his finisher over in Japan. One of the few gaijins to hold the IWGP belt. He might have been one of the first to a non-Japanese wrestler to hold the IWGP. I could be wrong, but early on stages, he might have been one of the first, if not the first. But please feel free to check.
Yeah. So our resident fact checker here, Mass Sanity, coming through in a pinch. Was Hogan versus Hansen in New Japan or Hogan versus Muda?
I think Hogan versus Muda was in New Japan, but I don't think it was an official crossover. I know Hogan had the belt, and Hogan famously sat on New Japan TV with the WWF belt and said the IWGP belt is the most important belt in wrestling, which, of course, he's just putting over the local promotion. So,
of course,
Hogan Hansen. I'm trying to think. They did those crossover shows. It was like WWE, War, and maybe one other promotion. I'm trying to think of what that show was, but yeah, I'm blank. I remember Hogan Hansen. I think that was one of the shows where Legion of Doom were in WWE, but for that show they call them the Road Warriors.
Right.
Oh, I'm thinking of LOD versus Hogan and Tenryu. But yeah, I'm conflating a lot of shows that I've seen, cross promotion shows, but I'm not sure what Hogan Hansen was. So
yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on it. I know, but again, I think I was reading something about WCW. I remember they had a whole NWO Japan that had an entire storyline that was super over too, that never crossed over onto WCW television. It was just there in Japan. So,
well, apparently the BWO Japan did something similar over
really
in Michinoku Pro. They came over. They came over, did the BWO Japan and ECW, and I remember seeing the Gong magazine. When I would flip through and seeing the guys with the BWO Japan shirts in Japan wearing the shirts, so they could have been doing the same thing, and
right.
Life imitating art. or art just imitating art. You know, we were the
Yeah.
parody of the NWO. They were doing the parody of BWO Japan. So yeah. Don't mind me. Don't.
Yeah.
It's early.
No, we're.
Hall of Fame ended 10 minutes ago, and I'm still.
I didn't even sleep last night. I was up waiting for Hunter to get done. And then he
Yeah.
pauses for a second. You think he's going to be done, and then boom, he's got another hour. And I'm like, this is impressive.
Hey, I was enthralled by his speech.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. It was fantastic.
Started at 1 a.m. Yeah, so I was, I was sitting there, I laying in bed naked, all but a tie and a pen in my mouth, saying, "Go home, go home."
So there I was, naked as the day I was born, with just a bow tie on and a pen in my mouth, and I had the book, and I was like, "It's time."
Oh, I was giving all the cues for the go home. I was like, "Wonderful speech, but take it home."
I was throwing my hand. I was doing helicopter. I was doing everything I could.
I was doing the hokey pokey. No, Paul's speech was amazing.
Yeah,
the whole night was great. Very interesting. I like that they've gone back to a theater and not like made the makeshift setup. After a SmackDown. I'm glad they went to a theater. What I did enjoy was the crowd was a little bit more subdued than before they started doing it at SmackDown, where if you watch the Hall of Fame, it was like yell at the guys on the stage thing. It's like people at home yelling at their TV, but they don't realize they're actually at a live event,
Yeah.
Some of those, early or later Hall of Fames were like way out of fucking control with the fan interaction. Guys are just trying to say their speech, take it home, go and just go relax. And I'm not complaining about the fan interactions.
Sure.
But it's just like last night was very nice, very subdued. People got to talk uninterrupted, and guys and ladies got to talk uninterrupted, and it was a good show overall. It was just unique. It was very different than your the Hall of Fames you've seen in the theater, so to speak.
Yep. We have one thing here that I've been seeing a couple comments on, and I wanted to chat about this. Are we discussing the horror wax figure?
Yeah.
Triple H. Now, to their credit, I actually know both guys who worked on this. So Jason Baker from Callison Studios, who did Bray Wyatt's mask, who does all the Wyatt 6 stuff. He created this. And our good friend, Ryan Kane from 10th Ward Barbershop, was responsible for doing the beard work on the Triple H wax figure.
Was the hair real?
So I don't know if it was previous hair or whatever it was, but yeah, so they put this big like long thing on Hunter's
I didn't know
and
that,
Kane was the one who actually cut it up. So two of the homies worked it up, but it definitely was controversial. What were your thoughts on the wax figure of Try?
I mean, aren't most wax figures controversial? I mean, it's not Madame Tussauds, but it wasn't horrible, but I've seen better. I ain't gonna shit on it because don't ask me to make a wax statue.
Hell no.
But it was a good touch for the fact that Paul's going, Hunter's going into the Hall of Fame. I thought they were going to have the figure at the Hall of Fame, ironically, as Paul's putting it on his ring, so the figure would represent him at the Hall of Fame while he gets his ring, kind of thing. I thought, instead of like photoshopping it or whatever. But I did pop because somebody photoshopped it, and I don't know if you've seen it. The wax figure pointing at Triple H, and Triple H is pointing, and then somebody photoshopped in Tommaso Ciampa doing the point.
Yes.
Ciampa pointing at the wax figure, which is pointing at Triple H, which gave me a good belly laugh.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was probably one of the funniest shops I've seen all week.
Yeah,
that was hilarious. Machete Von Kill, Pod Squad member, is here. Says, put hair on it, and it looks like the lead singer of Pentagram. And now I'm off to the Google machine to find out what that person looks like.
Oh, you'll know.
Where are we at here? Oh my God! Yes, that guy. I've seen this guy everywhere. He's the guy for those who are listening to us. There's the video of him standing on stage, and he's this old guy with the handlebar mustache and the big wavy hair, standing, and he's just going with his mouth open, looking around slowly. That's Pentagram.
It's either it's probably one unintentional or intentional. Most over things, because they did, Pentagram just launched a tour based off of that viral video. So
yeah, good for them.
Brilliant on their part. If that was their intentions to launch a tour based off that, catatonic look,
Catatonia. Yep. The other big thing that came out of the Hall of Fame last night, before we jump into our favorite segment of the show, Lex Luger walked on the stage last night.
Yeah,
that was a moment.
Yes. I don't know if I've talked about it. I was there the weekend he got paralyzed. It was this big convention in San Francisco that I called the San Fran Fiasco. Me and Mrs. Meanie called it that because the whole weekend was a shit show. From top to bottom. It's supposed to be this big, huge thing. Like, really, Dark Side of the Ring needs to do an episode on this convention. But one of the big stories that came out was Lex. We were staying in the same hotel. The story of the weekend was Lex was, taken to the hospital, and we're like, oh my God, I hope he's okay. And then, this is early internet. Maybe MySpace was still a thing, and not quite on Facebook, but yeah. And they, flash forward to all these years later, and seeing him stand and walk and being lighthearted. He's like, I would have walked farther, but I kind of took a bump getting out of my Uber today, or something like that. And the Lex today versus the Lex that became notorious in the business is awe-inspiring. I met Lex as a fan as a kid. I think when he was in WCW, me and all the other fans would go to the hotel. Ric Flair always advertised, "I'll be at the Airport Marriott." So we're like, all right, we're going to the Airport Marriott, and met Lex, and he was always cool. I've never had a bad interaction with Lex, but I know people who have had bad interaction with Lex, and to see how far he's come and how far he recognized the person he used to be.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who could take his cue. Not citing anybody in particular. There's certain people who are have less notoriety, who you talk to them, you thought they would have headlined 50 WrestleManias. There's only 41. But like, it's like, bro, I know who you are. So the wrestling business brings out interesting characters. That's what I'm trying to say, whether you know them or not. But this story is amazing. Hopefully there's a documentary. I know they've done stuff on him before, but now that he's in the Hall of Fame, there needs to be a full-fledged documentary.
Yeah, absolutely.
To capture that moment. And shout out to DDP, man. He's doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not overly religious, but he's doing the Lord's work, bro.
Yeah, we got lots of people in the chat. DDP's freaking awesome. Twitter says that, and then he says DDP needs to be in 2-time Hall of Famer just for the post-career stuff, which is far outdone anything he's done in the ring. Forget Hall of Fame. DDP needs sainthood, and he documents everything. I'm literally sitting here like thinking about like just the amazing stuff he's doing, and I'm like, don't cry. Like it's such a like selfless thing for someone to do all of that.
Yeah, it's selfless, and he's paying it forward. Everything DDP does, passes on to other people, those people are going to pay it forward to other people. And it's just it doesn't cost much to just be kind, you know. And yeah, God bless him. God bless him.
What a guy.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Absolutely. Hey, there's no shame, man. No shame. Lex is amazing. Lex gave so much to the business. In a world where people are like, "Oh, was it a 5-star match?" This, which drives me nuts. Lex,
yeah.
did he ever have a 5-star match? Probably not. Who did?
Yeah. Who actually had it? Yeah.
The most important thing about professional wrestling is making memories for the fans. And Lex gave so many people so many memories. Dude, one of my favorite matches growing up, Lex and Sting versus the Steiners. One of my all-time favorite matches. And to see what he went through, the downfall to being paralyzed and then walking last night. That was the highlight of a very long, very late Hall of Fame, but it was worth staying up for. It's definitely worth staying up for.
Yeah. I remember being a kid and the Lex Express was a thing back then. It was like huge at that time in my life. And so Lex Luger has a special place for me, just from my fandom. But yeah, that was, if you didn't get a chance to check it out, go ahead. I'm sure it's up on the YouTube already, but it's good stuff. So a couple comments in here. Andy Schlichter says, I'm in the DDPY community, and just what he's doing for everyday people, let alone former wrestlers, is amazing. Yeah. I mean, that's just like, talk about a guy who just, like, I got a chance to talk to DDP. I think it was about 4 years. I'm overdue to try to reach out to him again, but I was like, I don't even know what to say, man. Like, just just keep doing the Lord's work, man. Just keep doing the right thing all the time. Just what a wonderful guy. Lex versus Brody, career highlight.
Yeah.
Was that Bruiser Brody, he thought?
Yeah, that was an infamous moment where Brody just decided not to sell. And
yes, that's the one. Yes.
Yeah. So.
Sheesh. And we have Mass Sanity. I met Luger at a book signing a few years ago. He and I had a nice talk about him slamming Yokozuna. He could not have been more humble.
Yeah.
Schlichter says, I went to the USS Intrepid in New York City just because of the body slam challenge. It's not just a monument for everybody else. It's a wrestling monument. It's a piece of wrestling history.
Dude, that was like July 4th, 93, maybe. And this is like pre-internet. Or I'm sure they're working on the internet, but it isn't what it is today. And there was, wrestling hotlines and stuff like that. So I knew this body slam challenge was happening that day. I'm in Atlantic City. I'm like, looking, waiting for, whatever kind of news channel to maybe even have a smidge of coverage on it. They had nothing. And then, I'm calling the wrestling hotlines until like way into the morning to see if anybody just talks about it, because I wanted to know what happened, and this is when you just had to, gut it out and wait for the next week's Saturday morning wrestling show. And there it was, the big moment. And, talk about memorable moments. Lex has so many of them. And like I said, his Hall of Fame career is he gave so many great memories. And, just to see the humility in which he accepted everything and accepted responsibility for a lot of things and doing things right. It's awesome.
It really is. It's if you, like I said, if you haven't had a chance to go and take a look at it, go and take a look at it and see what's doing there. But let's see.
I'll be your hero.
Let's see. We got some here. Did WWE make a mistake? Actually, you know what? I'm going to save that for Ask Meanie. Let's do this. Hey, Meanie, I got a quick question for you, good sir, if you will. A question right there.
What would that be?
Are you ready to ask Meanie?
I would love to. It's time to ask Meanie anything. Ask me something.
Don't forget, drop your questions each and every week. We do a segment here on the show. Use the hashtag Ask Meanie, and we will ask your questions. But Meanie,
Yes.
real fast, I got someone who's got a question for you here. It's a quick live run-in. All right, hold on 1 second.
Eat.
Oh gosh. Hello.
Oh, now it's a party.
How's it going?
How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I just
It's
wanted to.
YouTube's famous muscle man Malcolm here in the flesh.
Hi. Hello. That's
With
me.
the $1 million smile.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I just had one question for you. Blue
Yes.
Meanie, what is your Waffle House order?
I'm glad you asked. Me and Mrs. Meanie love our Waffle House. We have one. We have one about 45 minutes from us that we drive down to Delaware just to have some Waffle House. My order is probably the ultimate one where they give you the T-bone steak.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
T-bone steak, 4 eggs,
Uh-huh.
over easy, so I can dip my toast in it with the hash browns, onions and peppers in the home fries. I ask them to cook them well done, and then I mix up my eggs and my hash browns all together.
Ooh.
Eat it with the steak. Dip the toast in there.
Yes.
I like to get the toast, put the egg and the hash brown on the toast, and fold it up, make little mini sandwiches. Eat those, and then I save the T-bone for last because, like, as a kid, my family always make fun of me for eating my food a certain way. I always save my favorite food for last, which would be the T-bone steak. And that would be my coup de grace, was conquering that steak. So
well, this has made my WrestleMania week for sure. That's all I had to ask. I just needed to make sure that we talked about Waffle House. And
I can talk about
back in here
all day, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. That was a quick special little run-in for you there, Meanie. Don't forget.
Always welcome. Always welcome.
Don't forget to follow Malcolm on Twitter, because like we said, we never call it X, and Instagram, Malcolm Muscle. Go and follow him there and make sure you shout him out. But he's here doing a bunch of stuff over at WrestleCon this week as well. Got a lot of great interviews coming up, so got to give him a plug there. But let's see, what do we got here? Oh, that's right. Our first question, which I put up on the screen a minute ago, Mass Sanity said, did WWE make a mistake in 1993? And should Lex Luger have won at SummerSlam?
Yeah. I mean, you put all that investment in Alexa Express, going across country and doing all the press junkets. And he was literally doing the whole running for president type stuff. Just to have him win by count out, and they dropped the balloons and the whole, revelry, as if he had won the belt. Let him win it, even if it lasts till Survivor Series. Give him a run with it. They did everything but crown him champion. They even did that test where Cornette was doing the promo with Vince McMahon, and then Alexa and they put goddamn, and then they're like, well, let's see what Lex looks like with the belt. You want to see what Lex looks like with the belt? And they had him do a fake entrance at the dark match.
Right.
You did everything but let the guy win the belt. They should have let him win the belt. Yes, they made a mistake by not letting him win the belt.
I agree. I think even though I feel like it may not have been a permanent thing and maybe the Lex Express wasn't really working, I still feel like all that investment and all that time just to do nothing, and then the ticker tape parade at the end of the, like, what the hell is this shit? Yeah.
For a count out win. He didn't win.
Right.
Yeah.
He didn't even win anything. Like, I don't know.
It just felt awkward.
It did, yeah. And Mass Sanity follows up and says Luger could have won the title at SummerSlam and faced Bret Hart for the title. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing a face versus face type of setup, especially if you have that.
You had already done it with the Ultimate Warrior and Hogan.
I mean, you could have run that story back easily, right? I don't know. I think I agree with that. I agree that they dropped the ball on that.
I'll be your hero. Dude, they should have played that last night.
Right.
Hero.
They need to get their licensing shit together, man, because this is not, they need to get it together.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kit Kat's asked, Adam, what's your Waffle House order? Well, I'm glad you asked. Thank you. Malcolm and I go at least like once every 2 weeks. It feels like it's a beautiful place. I usually will get. I try to get 3 scrambled eggs, and I'll do a thing of hash browns, scattered, smothered, and covered. And then there's usually like the it's a hash brown bowl. So I'll get sausage on top of that. I'll do the Waffle House sauce on that. If you haven't had Waffle House sauce, oh my God, right? Delicious. Thank you. Usually take a couple home with me so I can have them over the course of the week with my eggs. But if I'm not,
I'll say this: my why I eat at Waffle House is my order plus whatever Mrs. Meanie can't finish.
It's the same thing with Mrs. Guru when she goes with us. It's like she'll get something and she's like, no, you can have it. So I'll take it to work and I'll be set for the next couple of days.
This might be too much information, too much overshare, but we were once at a Waffle House. And I was enjoying my food so much, it didn't even bother me that the waitresses started talking about what would you do if your boyfriend fed you his ass? Oh my God. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I look over, I'm like, this Waffle House is good.
Yeah, it's a dinner and a show. Yeah, great.
The waitress is at the other end of the counter, and the girl's like, what would you do if your boyfriend fed you his ass? Yeah. In that moment.
Oh my God, man. That is.
I'd tell him to smother and cover it. I don't know.
Yeah. Get some Waffle House sauce on that, man. It called her today.
Yeah.
We want to thank you all for your
ma'am, there's a hair in my omelet.
Everything tastes like pennies, and I'm starting to hallucinate. But thank you all for your questions. We
got a little zing to it.
Thank you to it's a little tangy, a little tart.
Oniony.
Yeah, a little powdery. I want to thank
shavings.
Want to thank Muscle Man Malcolm for that run in today.
That was great. That was my Mania weekend right there, man.
I know we've been excited to link you to. Finally got the opportunity to do so. And Meanie,
long overdue.
Meanie, I want to know, good sir. We'll have to imagine the music here right now until Carl puts it back in for us. Where can people keep up to date? Where can they keep up to date? Actually, as a reminder, don't forget to tweet us your questions using the hashtag AskMeanie at our social media platforms, Mind of the Meanie, and you may hear them asked on the program. But Meanie, where can everybody keep up to date with all things blue when they're not listening to our wonderful program?
If you would like to follow the Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, kind of blue sky, at Blue Meanie BWO on all forms of social media. If you would like to support the Blue Meanie, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie. If you would like to support Mind of the Meanie, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Shout out to MadCatBeardCare.com. Get the Blue Spruce Beard Oil and Balm. Shout out to my boy Josh Thornton, who does an amazing job over there. He rounds up all the kitties in his neighborhood, takes them to the vet, and releases them back better than he found them. So if you're a cat lover like myself, and a bearded fellow like myself, and you want to look good, but most importantly, smell good, MadCatBeardCare.com. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game, coming to all major consoles. Ultra Pro Wrestling contains not only original characters by the amazing Hal Haney, but many real world wrestlers, including myself and many others. And I got a sneak peek of somebody who's coming to the platform, and I don't want to spoil it, but it's going to be awesome. So for more information, go to ultraprowrestling.com or follow them on UPW Video Game. That's ultraprowrestling.com or on Twitter at UPW Video Game. The figure collections Bone Crushing Wrestler Series 1's variants of the Blue Meanie are available now. All Series 1s can be ordered right now at shop.figurecollections.com. That's shop.figurecollections.com. Type Blue Meanie in search bar, select BWO Blue Meanie or regular Blue Meanie. Either way, there's no wrong choice. To have the Blue Meanie on your podcast, go to podstars.net. That's podstrz.net. Register your podcast, book the blue guy, and let's have a conversation over at podstars.net. Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO for birthdays, holidays, and well wishes. Book through the site, not through the app. The app takes too much money. Yeah, if you want to make somebody's day a little bit brighter, book me over there at cameo.com/BlueMeanieBWO, and let's make somebody's day a little bit brighter. Little bit important of a note here. If you're in Indianapolis, Indiana, next weekend, I will be at the Square Circle Expo Friday and Saturday. Friday starts at 4 p.m. Little mid-afternoon start, which is awesome. I get to sleep after my 10-hour drive on Thursday, and then all day Saturday we'll have a great time. So, Squared Circle Expo in Indianapolis, Indiana. Look at all my socials, and I'll have the information there. But most importantly, Mr. Bernard, where can we find you, sir?
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And as a quick programming note as well, we will likely have an earlier in the week show this week. So keep your eyes peeled for the announcements to coincide with Meanie's trip. Keep them like this, like we're doing right now. Peel them up. Make sure you do it. But also, Meanie, I would be remiss. I would be remiss not to post this before I get into my spots. And Carl, keep the music playing. Andy Schlichter wants to know, is ass a side order or an entree?
Dessert.
Yep, that's the end of the party, pal.
In the words of my friend Reverend Bob Levy, I eat ass as an apology.
Oh my God.
This is for the next 30 seconds you're about to
Well, thank you, Schlichter. We appreciate that, and I'm glad we clarified that for you, sir. So enjoy. So you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, which I'm kind of on, TikTok. This is Goober. Yes, it's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand, pal. So go ahead and find me there. You can also listen to my archived shows at foundationradio.net, or also check it out at youtube.com/@Foundation Radio Pod. Don't forget to check out my work over at Screen Rant. Got all the WrestleMania 41 coverage, including the media junket. I have conversations with Ricky Saints, Lyra Valkyria, Dakota Kai, and Stephanie Becaire coming this weekend and probably into Monday. So go ahead and keep tuned to that. Plus my live coverage of the show from Allegiant Stadium here in beautiful, sunny, scenic Las Vegas, Nevada. Don't forget, as we mentioned earlier, our friends over the 10th Ward Barbershop. Shout out to Kane, Jordan, and the rest of the team. Downtown Lawrenceville in beautiful, scenic Pittsburgh. Go and schedule your appointment today to look beautiful, get your beard and your hair trimmed up, and have great conversation too. And you can ask them about the wax figure. Schedule your appointment today at 10thwardbarbershop.com. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Pick up a shirt and keep the lights on at Casa de Meanie and the Barnard Home for Wayward and Troubled Youth. Don't forget to follow us on all forms of social media down here as well. And don't forget to follow our friends at One True Sport, who are giving us this wonderful platform.
Imagine having a platform that promotes you. That's amazing.
Me being like, hey, we want to bring you onto our platform and we're going to promote you, and then following through with it.
Yeah. We'll admit we know you.
It's kind of amazing. So go ahead and follow there, and also pick up some shirts as well. They have a lot of great, unbelievable legends that they work with there. Rob Van Dam, Ted DiBiase, the estate of Bruiser Brody, and also a certain blue guy as well has his own design shirt over there. So go ahead and pick them up and support the network over there at OneTrueSport.com. Don't forget to go to Patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Sign up today. Tier starting at just $10. And when you sign up, you get a Pod Squad membership card signed in blue ink by the Blue Meanie himself. So go ahead and do that today. YouTube.com.
Pricked my finger and signed it.
Signed it in blood. It's a blood oath. That's what it's blood in and blood out. Okay. Blue blood. YouTube.com/@Mind of the Meanie. You can find all of our archived shows there, going all the way back to our original Pittsburgh shows together and everything we've done in our fourth full year of doing this podcast together. Feels like we just started yesterday. So go ahead and check it out there. I want to give another shout out to Muscle Man Malcolm. Thank you for the questions. Sir. We appreciate you. For the Blue Meanie, I am Adam Barnard. Join us again each and every week as we take a trip through the mind of the Meanie. Peace.
Waffle order, ass order.
Blue World Order.
This episode of Mind of the Meanie is hosted and executively produced by the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard. It was mixed and engineered by Carl Pinnell. Additional narration is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. That's me. Our intro music was performed by the Swamp Candles. Our outro music was performed by Chikara. Additional musical accompaniment is performed by Enrichment. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, or X or whatever, at Mind of the Meanie, and become part of the Pod Squad by going to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Find our entire show archive at mindofthemeanie.com. This has been a Butts Carlton media production. Butts Carlton, proprietor.
Blue World Order.
That was Blue Meanie's brain out.